Welcome back to the show. This is KDS Reviews. This episode is actually a response to the overwhelming questions that I got out here in real life about the greatest endings to these movies. The opening sequence of a movie should grab your attention. It should settle you down, from all the trailers that you shot, that you saw in the theater and everything else. It should really set up the movie really good where it grabs your attention and it's like, wow, I need to keep going on this. So let's talk about some of the 10 best ones that I like. At number 10 is the opening sequence to The Hunt for Red October, starring Sean Connery and Sam Neill. Now, it starts out small, where it just shows them two standing out of the porthole of the Red October. And it gives you this wide shot of all the area around them. And then Sam Neill says, it's time. And then it gets close up on Sean Connery. He says, it's time indeed. And then the camera starts pulling back and the music rises and it starts showing you just how enormous the Red October is. I mean, it's a great looking shot. These tugboats pushing it, and then this orchestra and the song comes up, the hymn for the Red October starts playing. And it gives you this wide shot of the whole submarine. It is an awesome beginning to this movie. Then it gets dark. And then the words are in Russian and they form The Hunt for Red October. I was like, wow, this is fantastic. What else is going to go on in this movie? This is great opening sequence. At number 9 is another classic, spellbinding opening for the Alfred Hitchcock movie, Vertigo, starring Jimmy Stewart. This is one where this guy, I guess he's chased by these cops on a rooftop. These cops and Jimmy Stewart. He's going, jumping and running, building the building up. He's probably about 5 stories up. And then Jimmy Stewart slips and falls, grabs onto the roof. He's about to fall, and the cop stops, runs, comes back to him to try to pick him up. But the cop falls too, all the way down, about 5 stories up, and dies. And Stewart looks down, and that's kind of where he gets the vertigo at. This is a really good opening sequence, even for Alfred Hitchcock. Just the way he shot it, it just really grabbed my attention. I wanted to see what else was going to go on in this movie. That's the opening sequence to Vertigo. At number 8 is a Martin Scorsese classic here, the greatest gangster movie of all time. The opening sequence to Goodfellas, where they're just innocently riding around in the car. Henry Hill, Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro. And then it's just thumping. They keep hearing thump, thump, thump on the car, and they think they ran over something. But it's one of the other gangsters inside who they have already beat to a pulp earlier in the movie. And they open up the trunk, stab him, shoot him. And then Henry Hill, played by Ray Liotta, slams the trunk down. And they start playing from rags to riches. And then he starts telling the story of how he started out in the gangster, in the gangster family. Now, this is a really good sequence to me, another one. It blends real well. I really like that sequence, that opening of that movie. That's the opening to Goodfellas. At number 7 is animation. We got to have animation. Now, Disney has a lot of movies, a lot of good openings, but to me, this is the best one. That's the opening to The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is a really good thing because it kind of tell it as a puppet story first. And then it kind of starts showing you in flashbacks what went on and how the hunchback got to be in Notre Dame. The horse running and then the accident. And the guy's about to kill the baby, which is the hunchback. And the music in it. I really like that opening song in it. Like the Bells of Notre Dame. That's what it's called. Yeah, it is really good. And it peaks and it gets bigger and bigger. And then you see him ringing the bells and it gets louder and louder. Then it just comes to an apex. It says the Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is really good. I really like this one. I even just like watching that part of the movie. I'll just do that sometime. Just watch that opening sequence to that movie. That is the best part of it. That's the opening sequence to the Hunchback of Notre Dame. At number 6 is the opening sequence of Avengers: Age of Ultron. This is really, really great. With a fighting Hydra and this castle. I mean, it is where you see all of them. I think this is probably the last time they were all together. There's the Hulk smashing. Then there's a slow down scene where they're all punching together. I really like that. It's Captain America, Thor, Hawkeye, even Quicksilver shows up. Iron Man flies through. I mean, this is a great opening sequence to the Avengers movies right here. This is really, really great. That's the opening to the Avengers Age of Ultron. Number 5. This could have been ranked higher, but you'll see why. Number 5, Citizen Kane. It slowly pans past these windows. You don't really hear anything. You don't really see anything. It's just done real well, shot real well by Orson Welles. And then you just see the snow globe, and then you just see it get a close-up on his lips. And he says, Rosebud. And then the globe falls down, smashes. Now, here's the funny part. There's nobody in the room, so who heard him say Rosebud? And if you're a younger viewer and you don't know what Rosebud is, well, you just watched the movie. That's the opening sequence to Citizen Kane. Excuse me. At number 4 is this is a great one right here. The opening sequence to Raiders of the Lost Ark, where you really don't see Indiana Jones. You see him in shadows, And then they go in this cavern, and then this guy tries to attack him, and he slaps it back with the whip. And then Harrison Ford steps out of the shadows, And then they go into this tunnel, him and this other guy, to get this idol there, And then once he gets the idol, and then that's where all the action starts. The arrows shoot across, the ball rolls down the hill. I mean, this is a fantastic opening. I didn't even know what Raiders of the Lost Ark even was. I just went and saw the movie because Harrison Ford was in it when I was a kid. And I was like, wow, what is this? What's going to go on? See, that really was a great opening sequence. And here's a little hint. The little guy that's following him, Alfred Molina, that's the same guy that plays Doc Ock in the Spider-Man movies. That's the opening to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Number 3, wow, this could have been 1. That's the fantastic opening to Watchmen. This is one of the most misunderstood comic book movies that there is. It starts off with Vetted, spoiler alert, beating the bits out of the comedian, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. This is a fantastic shot-by-shot scene straight out of the comic book. It is really, really great. And especially the climatic part where he throws him out the window, and you see the Watchman little face with the blood on it. And then it goes into this sequence, this Bob Dylan song, The Times They Are Changing, where they're showing what's been going on with the Watchmen from the beginning all the way to what they are now. This is a great opening done by Zack Snyder. I mean, I really like that part right there. That's the opening sequence to the movie The Watchmen. Number 2 and number 1 is another one. Could have been flipped around. Number 2 is the thunderous opening to the Spielberg classic, Saving Private Ryan, the invasion of Normandy. This is great. I've even read where a lot of veterans said this is exactly how it looked. I mean, it's real quiet until that door opens and they start hitting the beachhead and the Nazis are in the pillbox, just mowing them down. I mean, just mowing them down. It's all these explosions and running around and yelling and screaming. It is just one of the greatest opening sequences of the movies right here. One of the great opening sequences. That's the opening sequence. The invasion of Normandy and Saving Private Ryan. The best war movie ever made, period. And what's number 1? Now, before I reveal it, I'll just put it this way. This movie really just blew my mind when I saw it. There was no internet back then. There was no little show that would tell you everything the way they are now. This opening sequence just grabbed me. I didn't know. I said, what is this? What is going to go on? And that's the opening sequence to Star Wars. The chase with the Imperial Star Destroyer is chasing his other ship. And this long scene where it goes over your head. I mean, I was like, what is this movie? What is going on here? I mean, I knew right then I was locked and loaded in right there. And then they get aboard the ship. See the rebels are all shooting, and then the door blows open, and the stormtroopers come in and start mowing them down. And as the smoke clears, there's Darth Vader. I was like, wow, I don't know anything about this movie, didn't know what was going on, who the villains were, who the hero was. I was ready right there. They had me from the very beginning. That's the opening of Star Wars. To me, the greatest opening to any cinema movie that there is. This is KDS Reviews. Remember, KDS Reviews is seen every Wednesday and every Sunday. If you like this type of content, then like, subscribe, and share. Won't you comment down below and tell me some of the great opening sequences to movies that you have seen. And if you want to see a particular episode of the greatest endings of movies I've ever seen, then watch this video right here. This is KDS Reviews, and I'll see you in the next video.